Hi everybody, this is Adriel.
And I'm Nicole.
We are Profit from Property. Today we're here to share with you the top 5 common mistakes property buyers make resulting in losses in their purchase. Let's go to point number 1. Overpaying. How do we define overpaying? When we value a branded product or when we qualify something just based on aesthetics alone, what we are usually doing is emotional buying, which sometimes blindsides us into not doing proper research. Mostly buying based on our feelings, more often than not we end up overpaying, resulting in losses for our property purchase. Let's take a look at this example. 𝗥𝗘𝗧𝗔𝗟. Located in a fantastic location, very close to Bishan MRT and amenities, developed by a reputable developer and designed by a famous architect. Yet many people who buy that project still end up losing money. Why is that so? The key is because they end up buying way above the developer's break-even price and ended up overpaying. As you can see, the developer's break-even price of 𝗥𝗘𝗧𝗔𝗟 is at $1,300 per square foot, and those units that experience the highest losses are the ones that are entering at $1,800 per square foot. That is about $500 away from the developer's break-even price. Another project example is over at 𝗪𝗓𝗠𝗏, where the developer's break-even price is at $1,500 per square foot. And again, we see the highest losses are units that bought in at $1,900 to $2,000 per square foot, which is again up to $500 per square foot away from the developer's break-even price. Do we see a clear trend here? We must be able to gauge what is a healthy margin for us to enter in. Which brings us to point number 2, the wrong entry timing and wrong entry price. Let's relook at 𝗥𝗘𝗧𝗔𝗟 again. Is it true that all units there experience a loss? This is not true. We have also seen quite a few good number of owners there making good profits in the project. What is the difference though? The difference is their entry timing and their entry per square foot. Those units that are bought during the launch stage ended up losing money, and those that are bought after launch at $1,300 plus per square foot are the ones that profited. Being close to developers' break-even price are the ones that make profits, versus entering the furthest away from the developer's break-even price are the ones that lose money. As we can see from the graph here, the break-even price is $1,300 per square foot. Launch stage, it was sold at $1,600 plus per square foot. Those that bought during the launch stages have experienced the most losses, whereas those that make the most are units that are bought during the post-launch stage. Here's another example. A project in Serangoon at Forestwood. At the early launch stage, 0929, this particular unit was sold at 1.277 million. Now we fast forward about 2 years later, 0429, 5 floors lower, the price has increased to 1.547 million. That's almost $300,000 difference for a lower floor unit. The owner of 0929 can now easily exit at 1.5 plus million, versus the owner of 0429 would have to exit at 1.7 plus million to enjoy the same profits. Which is easier? What's the key takeaway we should be looking at? In every project, there's always a right window to enter. Determining when to enter is crucial to ensure your profit margin is the highest.
Point number 3, failing to plan to exit. The objective of an investment property is to earn the most and highest profit in the shortest possible time. The choice unit you have bought is advantageous, at a good PSF and quantum, and a great layout too. However, have you ever considered when is the right time to exit and what strategies it entails to exit correctly? By not planning to exit or exiting at the wrong time, likely would result you in not maximizing your capital returns and sometimes even eroding it. Let's take a look at this case study at MV Residences located at Pasir Ris. Comparing 2 same-size units with one owner holding onto their property 6 years longer than the other. Entered in 2010 and exiting in 2013. The profit made was 205k over 3 years. Comparing this to entering in 2010 and exiting 6 years later in 2019. The profit made was 101k. That's a stark difference of 100% in profits. Exiting at the shortest time frame and at the highest point where prices are at its peak will give you 8.1% return on investment per year. So why do we need to be strategic about exiting? Now here's the scenario. What if we would have exited in 2013 and reinvested in another nearby property that was Coco Palms? we would have made another 200k profit, and that's a total of 400k profit in 9 years, versus holding on to MV residences over the span of 9 years from 2010 to 2019 and just making 100k profit. There are many other components that will determine when is the best time to exit. However, this is one major factor that many homeowners overlook. Point 4. Selecting the wrong unit type. You may have already selected the right development, but do you know selecting the wrong unit within the development will also make a huge difference to your profits? Let's look at this example, High Park Residences in Fernvale. 2 of these 3-bedroom units, one made a profit of 346k and another one made a profit of 181k. Both are bought on the same day, but with very different results. Why is that so? The key is the layout of the unit. The bigger 3-bedroom unit at 980 square feet comes with a utility room that is more suitable for families with at least 2 children and possibly a live-in helper. The other smaller 3-bedroom unit at 872 square feet does not come with a utility room and is less efficient in space. It's important to know who are your future potential buyers and who you're going to sell to in the future. High Park Residences is located in the mass market area where it's predominantly homestayers. The 980 square feet caters more towards the demographics there and can command a higher profit.
Here we are at the last point, point number 5. Safety net and do not over leverage, and our monthly installments for our property must be comfortable. Purchasing a home is one of the biggest and most expensive decisions we can ever make in our lives. We must pursue it with clear objectives right from the beginning and plan our finances well and make sure that we do not over leverage. When it comes to any property purchase, what we should never do is to overstretch the budget. What we should do instead is to work backwards, get an indicative loan assessment done first to understand what is the maximum loan we can take for the property purchase. Once we have determined the budget we can afford, we have to ensure that we have sufficient funds for our down payment, which is typically made up of cash and CPF monies. The next key point is to work out our monthly installment based on our property purchase price. Here's an example of how do we determine if we have ample reserve funds left. Assuming after your property purchase, you have a balanced cash left of $200,000, balanced CPF left of $50,000, your total reserve funds you will have is $250,000. In the worst case scenario, in the event that you and your spouse are not working and your monthly installment for the property is $3,500, your $250,000 reserve funds can last you for 71 months comfortably. This is also to ensure that you have holding power even when the going gets tough, your finances are still sound.
We hope you've enjoyed our video, 5 common pitfalls that result in home buyers making losses in their property. I'm Nicole.
I'm Adriel.
If you'd like to see more property videos, do subscribe to our channel.
Goodbye, see you soon.